Hey everyone! Today we're going to be exploring one of New York City's wealthiest neighborhoods. We are on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, standing on the corner of East 86th Street and 5th Avenue. We're going to be walking downtown past the Met Museum. We're going to be seeing some of the classic Gilded Aged mansions that encompass and incorporate the Upper East Side. One of which being the Henry Clay Frick Collection, which was the former home of the late Henry Clay Frick, who was an industrialist during the American Industrial Revolution. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I haven't taken all of you to the Met Museum in quite some time, so I'm excited to do that today. The Met is one of my favorite museums in New York City. I think it's definitely up there with the Frick Collection, as well as the Museum of Natural History that sits on Manhattan's Upper West Side. There's just so much history and so many beautiful buildings on the Upper East Side. One of my favorite things to do every time I film a walking tour of the Upper East Side is to pay very special attention to the beautiful townhomes that line the streets. And oftentimes, very wealthy families and even investors will come in and acquire some of the older townhomes and do what they call gut renovations and turn them into these stunning single-family properties that can trade in the tens of millions of dollars. There's even a listing right now in this stunning Gilded Aged mansion on the Upper East Side that's listed for about $70 million. Another thing you'll notice about the Upper East Side is that it is a very, very family-friendly and dog-friendly community. And the sidewalks are very well kept, particularly a lot of the landscaping around the condos and the co-ops that line 5th Avenue are really, really stunning. Right now we're walking past 1035 5th Avenue. And they decorate it really, really beautifully for the autumn and just the holidays in general. As we continue to walk the Upper East Side, you'll notice that especially a lot of the townhouses on the Upper East Side will have these really beautiful displays for the fall season. Another word that really comes to mind is limestone. Much of the construction of these beautiful facades are completely encompassed in these just really, really solid limestone. Some of the most sought after buildings and developments in the city, particularly on the Upper East Side, are these limestone classics. If you want to talk about new development, in my opinion, one of the most exciting new buildings that has come to the Upper East Side is 520 Park Avenue. Now, 520 Park Avenue, if you want to look it up, is a Zeckendorf development, and the Zeckendorf developers also developed 15 Central Park West, right alongside Central Park on the west side of Manhattan. And the Zeckendorf developers tapped legendary architect Robert A.M. Stern for 520 Park Avenue as well. Robert A.M. Stern was also on 15 Central Park West, as well as 220 Central Park South, which is that big Vornado development that sits on New York City's Billionaires Row. We'll quickly come over to the west side of the street. This is East 84th Street and 5th Avenue, or Museum Mile. All of this traffic that you see here is coming from the Upper West Side. Even though the city has predominantly closed down a lot of vehicle traffic inside Central Park, however, the main highway of sorts that will take you from the Upper East to the Upper West and vice versa is still open. And now we are right outside of the Met, but I want to turn the camera across the street and just look at how stunning the beautiful Gilded Age mansions are. Oftentimes when you see a building with a greenish top, that is actually a copper color, or a copper top that has been discolored. You can see the same thing on the Pierre Hotel. The Upper East Side really gives off a classy, Great Gatsby type vibe, in my opinion. This is the Marymount School. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you enjoy the older architecture of these beautiful Gilded Age mansions, or do you like more of the modernist architecture that's been popping up all over the city, particularly with developers like Extel and Gary Burnett? We'll now walk through these beautiful trees that lead all the way up to the museum. It's such a unique shot. Let me just pull off to the side again just so you can see the building a little bit better face on. On the walk today, we're going to be looking at a lot of these classic Gilded Age beauties. You can actually see all the kids getting out of school now. It's not uncommon for a Manhattan family to send their kids to a charter school or a private school and pay upwards of $55,000 or $60,000 for the year for elementary school, grammar school, and even high school. Because a lot of those private schools will act as feeder schools into some of the best institutions in the United States, particularly the Ivy League institutions, such as Stanford, Harvard, Columbia, Cornell University, and the like. If you're talking about New York State has two main Ivy League institutions, one of which being right here in New York City, which is Columbia University, but We also have another Ivy League school that sits a little bit further in upstate New York, near Cortland, and that is Cornell University. So oftentimes, if you're a big lawyer or you're a big banker in New York and you have children, well, you're going to want the best education possible and give your children the best shot as possible to go on to a great Ivy League school and acquire those lucrative jobs that Manhattan has to offer, particularly in the investment banking business, the consulting business, and big law. All right, everyone, here we are. We are now officially outside of the beautiful Met Museum. And it seems to be a pretty lively day too. We'll take a walk up to the main stairs here at the Met. And it does appear like it's under some sort of construction. I actually didn't know that. It's one of my favorite things in general about being in New York City is you just have such a wealth of infrastructure here in terms of educational infrastructure to give yourself a free education of sorts. You have the best museums, the best libraries. This is now the corner of 82nd Street and 5th. And I haven't done this in a while on the channel, so we're now going to make a right and walk up the stairs of the Met. There's a beautiful shot looking northbound. You can see all the apartment buildings lining 5th Avenue. And here you have the main front entrance. This is interesting. I think this is new. There was a scene in the movie Wall Street, I believe, that was filmed directly on these steps. I do want to point out some of the cityscape views for all of you if you're curious. If you look all the way in the distance, you could see Manhattan's 432 Park Avenue, which is one of the most sought-after condos on New York City's Billionaires Row. Just off to the right of 432 Park, you could see JP Morgan Chase's brand new office tower at 270 Park Avenue. And then to the right of that, you could see the spire of One Vanderbilt We'll now head back down to street level. I really love the fountains here at the Met as well. And we will continue southbound. And remember, Central Park is just off to our right here. Now, if you want to take the subway to the Met, the easiest way to do that is from 42nd Street, Grand Central Terminal. And what you want to do is you want to jump on the 6th train and get off at 86th Street and just continue walking as far as you can westbound until you reach 5th Avenue. We'll now make a quick left here at the corner. And we'll head further over towards New York City's Madison Avenue. This is a very Upper East Side shot here. This is 995 5th. That beautiful awning leading into the building. Two trees on either side. And then this is looking further southbound. And again, keep in mind the comment I made before about just how meticulous all of the landscaping is, as well as how well kept the sidewalks are. Very beautiful. They really do a great job. Now approaching the corner of 80th Street and 5th Avenue. We'll take a moment to enjoy some of the beautiful architecture here as well. This is the American Irish Historical Society building. Look at that. You really don't see much of this beauty anymore. Once again, the American Irish Historical Society. you'd like to come here and check out the building for yourself, again, you may do so by either just coming to the Met or standing on the corner of 80th Street and 5th Avenue. Oftentimes they'll be doing events and things like that periodically. Right here. Now, half of my family came on the boat from Ireland to the United States, particularly from Roscommon, Ireland, as well as County Mayo. Let's make a slight detour here just because I want to showcase some of the side streets. Especially showcase some of the details, like the light fixtures. It's small details like this, but it's very, very beautiful. Very Upper East Side. Just a moment, you'll be able to see some more really stunning townhomes. In my opinion, these are some of the best in the city. I mean, look at this one. The entire facade is marble. That's actually very rare to see. Beautiful marble facade. I do quickly want to double back just to show you some of the fall decorations here. This building is 3 East 80th Street. And I like how they decorate the stoops like this. Makes it look very Upper East Side. And very festive. Now, another building I really like is 12 East 80th Street, which is just on the other side of the street here. And you're going to see why I like it in a moment. It's a stunning townhome. And it has this very, very robust and vibrant all red brick facade. This has just been completely gut renovated. I mean, look at those windows. And then you have this beautiful backdrop. And it looks like an outdoor roof terrace here. That is just a stunning New York City townhome. Really lovely. And now we're coming up on New York City's Madison Avenue, where we will make a right.
Go back to the place that we went to.
Now, I wanted to bring you all on Madison Avenue because we have this beautiful new development, and it's called the Benson. And look at how beautiful that building is. And it even has Le Labo as an anchor tenant. And looking all the way up, you see that beautiful limestone facade and some of the terraces on the higher floors. Now, the Benson sits at 1045 Madison Avenue. It's an elegant boutique-style residence, perfectly located at 79th Street, Madison Avenue, just 1 block away from Central Park. The Benson's facade is comprised of hand-carved, hand-laid Indiana limestone. I want to stand back a little bit just so you can see some of the top duplex residences. If you look on Street Easy at Unit 3B, it's already under contract. 4 bedrooms in total. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath, or 2.5 bath, 1,770 square feet. Under contract at $6,950,000. Beautiful building and in a great location. So check it out. It's the Benson on Madison Avenue. As you could tell from a lot of our walking tours, I tend to highlight a lot of the limestone facade buildings, particularly the Robert A.M. Stern buildings. I just think limestone looks very New York, and it keeps the original architectural integrity of the old New York alive and well. Here you have more beautiful buildings on Manhattan's 79th Street, overlooking towards 5th Avenue. And we'll wait for the light, and we'll continue southbound on Madison. '79th Street is always going to be really busy. because it does run east to west. It is a crosstown street. You'll see the same thing with 72nd Street as we continue on down there in a moment. This is quite the nice outdoor dining setup. Oftentimes people can do it very, very poorly, but other times they do it quite well. And I think this is one of those instances where it's done quite favorably and quite fashionably. Madison Avenue on the Upper East Side is where you're going to see a lot of these really unique boutiques and shops. Definitely on the pricier side, but it does cater to the clientele. I love the design on the sidewalk here too. It's really a striking design. It makes the storefronts pop. And of course, in the distance, you can see 432 Park, which is a Raphael Vignoli building. In terms of the architect, the developer on that deal is Harry Macklow. We're now going to take one more detour off of Madison to explore another just stunning townhouse. I think you guys are really going to like this one. And you have a nice tree outside of the townhouse too. It's a big plus. This one looks more of an Upper West Side-esque townhouse. With the brown here. But I really do like the stoop. The facade does pop. Look at all the Halloween decorations here. Look at how beautiful all of the ivy is that's growing on the facade of the townhouse. What do you guys think? I think they did a pretty good job. On the decorations for this one. I mean, this house is really stunning, my God. With all the vines and the ivy growing on. And here we have some more Halloween decorations. Some of these homes really go all out for Halloween. Not only are the Halloween decorations very good on this one, but just the overall facade of the home is really quite stunning as well.
Estaba así. Cuando estaba así ya.
.22 East 78th Street. That was that townhome listing.
Yeah. And then yesterday we ate out again. And I knew we were going to be eating out again yesterday because my grandma always likes to go out to lunch. And she it's like an activity.
If you're curious, it's listed for $10,999,000. It has 13 rooms in total, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms. And some really nice outdoor space. Here you can see the listing on Street Easy here. 22 East 78th Street. About 11 million bucks. It's priced just under $2,000 a foot. It's a nice, really nice listing. Now this place is St. Ambrose, and it is very, very good if you want to get a coffee or something of that nature. They're also very, very famous for their pastries. They have a few locations, and they're also big in the Hamptons. This is a very good brunch spot on the Upper East Side. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. If you're ever on the Upper East Side, I would recommend coming here for a coffee or a pastry. Which is very close to the Mark Hotel.
That's the one that Pam saw.
Oh, that's so fun.
And the Mark is quite charming as well. Here you can see the Mark right here. The building is quite stunning too, if I zoom up on it. The Mark Hotel is housed in a landmark 1927 Renaissance Revival style building at 25 East 77th Street. The hotel is known as a storied hotel, or the starriest hotel lobby in the world, especially on the eve of the Met Gala. The penthouse at the Mark is hugely coveted by celebrity stays.
Yes, sir.
There are some YouTube videos on it, but the penthouse at the Mark is over 10,000 square feet with a 2,500 square foot private terrace overlooking Central Park as well as the entire Manhattan skyline. You can see the hot dog, the Mark hot dog there, dishing out and serving out right now. Now that penthouse features 5 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, a gourmet kitchen, a formal dining room, your own personal library. It's essentially a primary residence within the hotel. It's quite impressive. It's okay.
Beef, chicken. Would you like on it, sir? Master? Everything. Come on.
Really beautiful. Now the restaurant in-house is by Jean-Georges. Jean-Georges also has another location at 1 Central Park West that sits in the Trump International Hotel and Tower, which is right on New York City's Columbus Circle. Now, adjacent to us is the Carlisle Hotel. which is also a very, very sought after and famous hotel on Manhattan's Upper East Side that sits in between East 76th Street and East 77th Street.
Oh my god.
I hope there's trick-or-treating in my building. I just got on the building list today.
They don't need candy. My husband, we're not going to be around. My husband friend was totally fine with whatever needed to happen. I just wanted to reach out. I thought that was the answer, but okay.
Quickly zoom in on the main entrance of the Carlyle. Once again, this is Madison Avenue, in between 56th and 57th Street. You can see all the black cars and things like that that are lined up dropping off guests. And then, of course, if we zoom in, there you have that perfect shot of 432 Park Avenue again.
I will. Thanks, Terry. You too.
We're now headed southbound towards 72nd Street, and you're going to see a really, really cool building on the corner of 72nd Street that houses one of my favorite coffee shops in the city. It's called Ralph's. And then if you were to go all the way over to Fifth Avenue, you'll see the Henry Clay Frick collection, which I've talked about many times. Henry Clay Frick was an industrialist and one of the wealthiest men in America at the time. And of course, if you're from Pennsylvania, particularly Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Henry Clay Frick is probably a household name for you. And if you look at some of our other walking tours on the Upper East Side, I was able to get some footage inside of the original Frick mansion, and it is a stunning Gilded Age mansion. So more than happy to go and check that out, as it is very, very rare to be able to get footage in there. Right on the corner of East 74th Street. This is the main flagship Apple store on the Upper East Side.
Yeah, we'll figure something out either tomorrow or Thursday. caldera porque se rompió.
This is now the corner of 73rd Street and Madison. All right, here we are, 72nd Street in Madison. You have the original Ralph Lauren building to the left, but the one right in front of us was actually developed in 2008. And I love the juxtaposition in architecture here, with the Beaux-Arts style to the right, and then to the left you have that gorgeous 432 Park Avenue. But just off to the left of 432 Park, you're going to see the Zeckendorf's 520 Park Avenue, which is another Robert A.M. Stern building, which is one of my favorites on Park. But here is the original, one of my favorite Gilded Age mansions here. That sits right on the corner of Madison Avenue and East 72nd Street. If I zoom in here, you can see the Ralph's Coffee. We have the light, so we'll go ahead and cross. What do you guys think of the building? I really, really love the architecture, and even though it's a new building, I'm so glad that they didn't put some big glass monstrosity on the corner here, because if you look at all of the other surrounding buildings, that type of architecture would look very out of place on a block like 72nd Street and Madison. So I'm glad we don't have one of those glass kind of monstrosities, and they stayed with the gorgeous Beaux-Arts style. Looks very Great Gatsby, very Upper East Side. And then I'll zoom in on the original across the street.
I do.
It's a motorcycle from here.
Okay. Bye, Papa.
All right, everyone, if you enjoyed that walking tour of the Upper East Side of Manhattan, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, we will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.